What's up everyone, welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Before we begin, make sure to hit the like and subscribe and then hit the real subscribe button, which is the bell icon. We're posting 4 videos every day, so make sure to check back every single day. We're aiming for 20k subscribers and get a deal in the description if you haven't already. This is not financial advice. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. What's up guys, so just before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe and bell icon. People aren't seeing our content and that's probably because you haven't hit the bell. Thank you again for all your support. We're so proud of the amazing community that we've built. So we're just taking a quick look at Verasity here, and as we can see, still holding in and around that 20 moving average like an absolute beast. You can see it's basically coiling up here in and around that 20 moving average, maybe for, potentially a move. You could argue that we've got maybe, a support looking something like this, and maybe, a resistance looking something like this, maybe forming some kind of, potentially a flag here of some kind. I mean, you could argue maybe the flag is more like this as well. And if we do break to the upside, because, you would consider this to be a continuation if this is a flag, it's a pretty, it's a pretty disgusting looking flag, let's be honest. But if this is the case, and we've got basically looking something like this, I mean, you could argue maybe even for a case of something like this. But you can see, one way or another, we are coiling, it looks as though, to some kind of point that we're probably going to be, figuring out pretty soon. And if this was a flag, just for argument's sake, I mean, this has got a massive price target, hasn't it, if that's the case. Looking something like this with a price target, we're coming well up in past our all-time high, coming up to around 7.5 cents for our next little move, if that was the case. So basically, more or less what's been happening with Verasity is it's basically just stuck in a range, isn't it? We've got our little range that we have formed. Basically, you could say maybe from down here like this, and we've come up, we've made our high and our low of our range, so we formed our range nicely. We come up to here, we come up to our, this is our 4 cent level, by the way, isn't it? So pretty clear that this 4 cent level just here, a very, very strong level of resistance psychologically. We have a retracement for people taking profits. We pump up again to the 5 cent level, people take profits again, and then we obviously get the El Salvador dump where we come all the way down back inside of our range. But we get the bounce because we're trying to hold the 20 moving average here, because we're looking extremely bullish for Verasity in general, aren't we? And you can see, we're just chopping it up basically in and around our 20 moving average here, coiling up, looking something like this, aren't we? Where we're forming potentially some kind of flag like this, and it does look as though we are coiling to a point. The volume is dropping off somewhat as well. You can see that we're just chopping it up like this, basically waiting for that next move. And as we said, if we do start to break out, we've got some very nice price targets for Verasity if that is the case. But all in all, it looks as though right now we're just chopping it up in a smaller range. Probably, if I can actually, draw my range in. We've got a smaller range over the past week or so, ever since we had that El Salvador crash, looking something like this, where we're basically just chopping it up like this, but we're making higher highs, higher lows all the time. So potentially, we could be looking at a little bit of a break to the upside soon, considering how bullish we are looking. But it does look as though, as we keep saying, we are coiling to a point here, and things are we're probably looking at a big move for Verasity quite soon. But just draw my fib retracement tool in here. You can obviously see all over the chart here, massive confluence. And you can see we basically got our 618 down here at the bottom of this this wider range that we have formed, looking something like this as our support as well. So a very strong level, we would say. Obviously, this was a previous level of support here, flipped into resistance here, and then back into support. So obviously a very, very bullish turnaround. We come down, support, and then back into resistance. We come all the way back up, resistance, back into support. You can see what we're doing, overall doing something like this. And if we test it as support and continue, we're going to be looking very bullish. I mean, you could say this is potentially, a big cup and handle that a lot of people have been talking about, and it does seem quite likely that could be the case. If we have a little retracement here to the bottom of our range, get that bounce off the 618 and do something like this, and then obviously, what happens next with a cup and handle, we get that big breakout, which would be very, very bullish to see. So basically, Verasity looking very, very good. It's holding support like an absolute beast. You can see how well it's actually holding its price at around 3.5 cents currently. You can see we chopped it sideways here. We had our pump, we come back down, and now we're chopping it sideways a little bit higher than previously in this smaller range here. And as we said, we can look at some short-term price predictions then. And if we do start to roll over again, we've got the bottom of this little range coming in at around, basically 3 cents, aren't we? In and around that 3 cent level, looking something like this. You would expect 3 cents to be the psychological support, coinciding nicely with that 55 as well. And we do have the bottom of the wider range here at around 2.5 cents at that 618 Fibonacci retracement as well. You would expect that to have a very strong bounce. If we do something like this and basically form the handle of the cup and handle, you can see this is our cup, this is our handle. And if this is the handle here, you can see we could come down, have a deeper correction, and then absolutely explode once we start to pick back up like this. Or, you know, this could be the handle, and we just start to blow up from here. And if we do start to move to the upside, if we break that 4 cent level, we've obviously got 5 cents and 5.5 cents as our short-term price targets after that. These key levels here, this one, 5 cents psychological, and then the all-time high of 5.5 cents. And then overall, got the 127 here at around 10 cents, the 141 at around 12.5 cents, 13 cents. Got the 161 at around 20 cents, and then that big 227 extension at around 75 cents. And we do strongly believe, you know, with Verasity having such good fundamentals, not to mention how low its market cap is, if it does get that fundamental news we're looking for another potential patent, we could be looking at a very, very large pump for Verasity, basically. Considering how low its market cap is, it's not going to take much money for it to move like an absolute beast. And we do really strongly think that 50 cents to $1 is very possible this year. So that's it, guys. We'd like to thank everyone so much for their support. If you've got any questions or suggestions, please leave them down below, and don't forget to subscribe and then hit the real subscribe button, which is the bell icon, to stay up to date with the 4 videos that we post every single day. Remember, if you want to support the channel more directly and get a ton of benefits and insight, as well as joining our growing community, consider the Patreon or YouTube membership down below. You can also sign up to our free Telegram via the description as well. All the links are in the description for affiliate links for discounts and free crypto, so go check them all out below. There's plenty of goodness on offer. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.